tell me the latest regulation on this pharmaceutical component?
Can you summarize the report? Please send an email with this information to Dr. Johnson. Oh, and make it a formal email.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another installment of ISV Success Live. My name is Brian Galicia, and I lead our global Dynamics 365 ISV business here at Microsoft. And it's always an honor and pleasure to invite every week amazing ISVs who are driving innovation in our ecosystem. And today, very fortunate enough to have Michele and Sergio from Trueblue join me this morning. And before we get started, let me do a couple of quick housekeeping items just so that people have a context to why we do these events. So it's really an opportunity to showcase the capabilities and innovation. And Trueblue is one of those leading ISVs that are driving innovation around life sciences and pharma scenarios. And we're going to go much more in detail to that because we do have ISVs that not only add value in a certain let's say use case in Dynamics CE or F&O or Power, but we also have those who specialize in a specific industry. And Trueblue really hits that mark in focusing on a very specific niche in an industry scenario. As we go through the conversation, I truly would appreciate people just sharing where they're taking the conversation throughout the world, whether you're watching live or the replay. Of course, Michele and Sergio are doing this from wonderful Italy. Makes me jealous because it's been a long time since my wife and I have been there. Or myself, I'm doing this from Seattle, Washington, or anywhere in between. If you want to type in the LinkedIn window where you're watching from, we'd love to see where you're watching from. And then towards the beginning, we'll do a quick shout out. During the event, if you have a question, feel free to put that in the window. This is a live event. So happy to take a question towards the end. And I could ask us, Michele or Sergio, that question in real time. And then finally, if there's content that you want to, or content that's resonating with you as you're listening to the conversation, feel free to utilize one of the LinkedIn icons, like, support, etc., because that also gives us an indication that the content is resonating with you. So without further ado, Michele and Sergio, thank you so much for joining. And so the first question I always ask my guests is, what's your role, both of you in the organization? And my favorite ice-breaking question is, what's one thing not on your LinkedIn profile that you're open to sharing? So Michele, we'll start with you, and then Sergio will go to you.
Thank you, Brian, and good morning, afternoon, everyone who's watching right now. So my role at the company is the CEO, and I'm actually one of the co-founders of the company. My background is IT, so I graduated in computer science many years ago, and since the 90s, I work primarily in the life science and pharma space. So one thing that's on my profile, I'm actually a passionate photographer. That might be the thing that's not there.
I love it. Now, before I get to Sergio, what's your favorite type of photography? Is it people? Is it buildings? Is it cars? Is it what do you like taking pictures of?
Well, mainly I have two types of photography I like. One is documentary, which is street photography, everyday photography, so people but not posed portraits. And the other is nature and landscape.
I love it. Well, now you got me curious, Michele. I have to see some of your pictures that you've taken, some of your favorite ones that you have taken over the years. So thank you so much. So Sergio, we'll go to you. Again, what's your role in the organization? And you have a unique background because you're also a former Microsoft person, which we'll get into that.
Exactly. Nobody's perfect, right?
So what's your current role? And then what's one thing not that you're open to share?
I'm happy to serve as the Chief Commercial Officer Global for Trueblue. And as you said, I spent my career in big software vendors. So I was a management consultant, an engineer at the beginning, then a management consultant, and then SAP in various roles in the last 7 years in Microsoft at Western Europe level. And before you ask your question, I'm really, so in my CV, there should be only something about cycling. All the rest is an hobby, right? So I should update the LinkedIn profile more on the cycling side rather than on the professional one. But
I love it. I love it.
cycling
Yeah,
is my love.
I love it. So yeah, we didn't get it. As I was talking to Sergio in the pre-show, he was talking to me about his many cycling scenarios. And one thing, cyclists, for people who are passionate about cyclists, Sergio mentioned it's N+1. How many bikes you have plus one more. And Sergio,
Exactly. N+1 is the answer. Only N+1.
right. I love it. So let's get started. Of course, for those who have never heard of Trueblue before, maybe you can describe what are the business outcomes. And we got to taste a little bit of the video that was about a minute long that showcased in the beginning. But maybe, Michele, we'll start with you. Like, when you think about Trueblue, what's the intent of the scenarios that you help to try to solve for customers in the life sciences pharma space?
Okay. So I think there are two things to say here. So one, who is Trueblue? What we do, and this is very simple. Trueblue is a company that works specifically in the pharma and life science industry, and even in that industry, we focus on the commercial area, in the marketing and sales area. So we're really focused in that space. And in that space, we provide to our customers solutions that go from CRM, customer engagement, marketing automation, omni-channel planning and execution, data integration and analytics, and more. So that's basically what we do. And over the years, since when Trueblue was founded, which is 21 years ago, we were very successful acquiring more than 100 customers. And how we did that, because we try to combine two very important things in this market. One is technological innovation, but that technological innovation is joined by a deep expertise in the field, because the pharma market is very particular, and this market does not accept standardized solution. They need a very verticalized solution. And that's our role. We try, our motto is make it real. Try to take the technology, verticalize it, and make it real, make it concrete. That's and so that is basically what we did in the last 20 years. But more specifically, and this is the second part, what are we doing now, or what have we done since when we joined the ISV Success program 4 years ago? We try to, as always, to focus on the trends that are in our market and provide solutions to improve the performance of our customers. So in the pharma market, there are many trends, but primarily there's globalization. There is the need to look into a broader ecosystem of information, which does not span only CRM, but also other data and also big data. But more importantly, the big trend in the last years is personalization of communication. Pharma companies need to personalize the communication with their customers, whether these are the HCPs, HCOs, pharmacists, etc., with multi-channel and omni-channel capabilities, customized customer journeys, a dynamic profiling, and a number of tools that can complement the sales force, the sales reps, which are the main asset of any pharma company. So when we joined the ISV Success program, we wanted to address this together with Microsoft. And the way to do that is really to use AI. So 4 years ago, we started to use AI and embed it deeply in what we call AiDEA, which is our verticalization of Microsoft Dynamics for the pharma and life science companies. Now we're going even further, because with generative AI, we can do much more. And actually, sales and marketing is an area where generative AI can contribute very, very much. And this is confirmed by many, many reports on the market. So our goal is, again, to make it real. So to generate the appropriate use cases, because today there is a lot of talk about that, but the real point is to generate a real use case or a number of real use cases that can arrive to the ultimate goal that we have, which is not simply to deploy a solution, but rather to make sure that our customer get a business benefit from that, whether it is an increase in performance, an increase in efficiency, or whatever. The real goal is to find the right areas of application. And as a matter of fact, we already integrated all of these technologies provided by Microsoft, and we are about to release 2 copilots for pharma, one embedded in the Dynamics and CRM space, and the other embedded in the analytical space with Fabric.
Yeah, what a great intro, Michele, and it's great that your IDEA branding now has an A in front of it, so it's AiDEA. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but I think I think that innovation you talked about, because that personalization, I think that was a critical thing that I heard you say, which is the personalization of that to all the constituents that these selling resources at these pharma companies are doing is super important, because that's driving better outcomes. That's more efficient in the processing. That's ensuring that the conversations are relevant and timely in regards to what needs to happen in the next phase. So, Sergio, before we get to the next question, anything else to add? Otherwise, we'll go to the next question.
Oh no, nothing specific. I think Michele covered pretty well what we do and what we are doing. No, I think we can move forward.
Okay, fantastic, Sergio. So the next question is, and Michele had mentioned the ISV Success program and experience, and of course that's how I got to know the Trueblue team originally, because there's a person on my team, Ingmar, who was driving some of that conversation with a local area team in Italy. But maybe you could describe a little bit about what's that engagement been like, of course, because you have a unique perspective. You came from Microsoft and now you're the chief customer officer at Trueblue. So maybe you can talk about the just the partner experience and what's that meant to Trueblue.
Well, maybe, Brian, I would like to start with this and then pass it to Sergio, because actually when we started with Ingmar that you mentioned years ago, Sergio did not join the company at that time. So I would like to start from there and then pass it to Sergio, because one of the important benefits that we see from this partnership is at commercial level. So I'll let him do that part. But before we get to that, what I want to say is the ISV Success experience has been very, very positive. And if I can condense that in one word, that would be acceleration. Okay. Acceleration, because that's really what the advantage we had with this partnership. So first of all, acceleration in the positioning of our company. Our company has the goal to serve global pharma companies. And so being able to partner with Microsoft allowed us to accelerate the positioning of Trueblue from a local to a global provider. And the second thing, like I said, my background is technical, so I cannot I can only speak about the technological implications. So the accessibility to new technologies, the training resources that allowed us actually to already have the newest technologies embedded and release them very soon. So these are two very important points in my point of view. But I think that really another very important point is the partnership on the commercial side. And that is where Sergio can really speak something more about than me.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Michele. No, I can build on what Michele just said. And I think what is really, because I remember I was one of the first industry lead in Microsoft in Western Europe. So I remember having a conversation with the customer that sometimes they were fascinated with the technology provided by Microsoft, but then there was only a question to cover the last mile to get the real business value, right? And that was always the role of the ISV into the entire community in Microsoft, which Microsoft is excellently building on that. And what I found in Trueblue is that this perfect blend of being so deep into the industry, being so deep into the knowledge of the industry, and like Michele just said, it make it real and not using the technology for technology's sake. So all the customer that we have, all the implementation that we have, everything that we do, it is never for the technology's sake, but it's always to solve a very specific need and very concrete need. So that's why I think it's good, and that is the perfect combination that is coming to the partnership with Microsoft, because we don't need to develop technology. Microsoft is doing perfectly well. She's building a great platform, a great ecosystem, a great set of technology, which only enable us in a very quick way. And what we are realizing that is happening quicker and quicker. So coming back from the first implementation of Dynamics into our verticalization of Dynamics into our customer, and then what we are seeing while we are developing this new Copilot that Michele just mentioned, what we immediately realize is that the platform is enabling you to get to this value quicker and quicker than before. And that is in line with the pace requested by the market, as we will cover later on. And of course, a great partnership is in the commercial, because I think we are already working perfectly with the Microsoft account team, and the account team that we are working with immediately realize the value that we can bring into the conversation, and especially they immediately realize we drive additional adoption of the whole Microsoft platform, because of course we cover so many areas into the sales and commercial. We go deep into that, but then we can extend in terms of dynamics and all the data and all the Gen AI opportunity to solve real business problems.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, Sergio, and you're spot on. Not just what Michele had said about the acceleration of being leveraging the solution and the resources, but you hit it spot on, is the expertise that you bring in from the industry, because of course we do have industry sellers that go into these scenarios, but part of that is a huge requirement where we need partners, particularly ISVs, that can come in with repeatable IP that does the things that Michele and you have shared. So before we get to one of my favorite questions about customer stories, let me go ahead and share a quick video. It's about 45 seconds to really showcase, again, additional capabilities of what both of you had said in the conversation. So let's run the video of this suite. Yeah, what a great way to, again, reinforce many of the things that you talked about. And of course, you think about it, the other thing that you probably that drew my attention, it's mobile. meaning that a seller can go in and see those things on the go, not just on a device, a full-on PC or Mac device, but on a mobile device. So maybe you could describe, Sergio, what are some of the example customers or a customer story that really has resonated with you on the impact of them uncovering, oh my gosh, there's this amazing scenario that Trueblue provides that's built on Microsoft technology. What are some of the customer example that you'd like to share?
Yeah. We have, of course, luckily we have many happy customer on our platform. And the reason why they adopted this platform is because they started from something that is quite common in the industry that I'm seeing to many customers. They are asking to us because as you can see in the pharma industry, it's happening what was happening, let's say, maybe in the manufacturing industry 10, 15 years ago, that those global companies are trying to standardize and optimize and digitize the customer interaction and the way the rep interact with the customer, and also streamlining the internal processes in a way that everything runs smoothly and the rep can do more visits with more quality and have a better interaction. So what Trueblue did, and what is interesting, they did it even before all of these buzzword on AI was hit the market, but just when artificial intelligence was one piece of technology, right? And again, that is a Trueblue trademark. They made it real in a very concrete way because now we have this full mobile experience where you can basically forget your laptop and do almost everything in driving your customer engagement with doctors and whatever. And of course, everything is supported to streamline and simplify and increase the quality of the interaction with data and with the customer through the artificial intelligence. So you can literally talk with your so basically, let me say, we made a Pharma Copilot before even the Copilot word existed, right? And of course, we didn't use the word Copilot, so we don't have any trademark on that. But essentially, this is what my idea does. And this goes through all the interaction that the customer, or in planning the visit and understanding which is the best route to best schedule to visit the doctors. What are the topics that we want to talk? They have an immediate insight in all the KPI. Again, just talking with the mobile interface. Just talking with the phone, you have an assistant telling you how your inside of your marketing plan is going, how you're inside of the sales plan, and additionally, this is a way that from the central sales excellence team they can distribute the execution plan to everyone out in the market, and this can be accessed in a very simple and intuitive way. And of course, that was the first generation of the AI technology introduced. And now, okay, maybe more than 1.5 years ago, even the large language model interaction and technology was introduced. So you can easily ask your pharma assistant to summarize the latest document that you shared with the doctor, or summarize the interaction, or you can easily talk with the mobile app interface to schedule the next meeting or understanding which is the next one. And again, talking with major implementation program, I think the latest two more successful implementation are two big implementation for global customers, and the winning ideas. No, ideas. So the winning ideas from the customer was that they were looking for a suite that can cover all the very specific needs from the customer, from the marketing automation and building the customer journey, managing the event, which is very peculiar into the pharma market, and also our suite cover also all the retail process and order taking that might be relevant for many of our customers. So over the last year, we are half of completing our big rollout in 40 countries in the Eastern Europe, and one very big major program and project in Italy. And also an interesting thing to mention that sometimes they find very successful implementation and synergy with our data knowledge, because of course we have also these pillars in our offering where we offer solution on the data inside, still based on customer on Microsoft technology. So I think yes. If I could say which is the market is requiring or asking for, I see a lot of interest into the marketing evolution and the market interaction and customer journey. This is a very hot topic. Another hot topic that I see in the market is in the interaction with the MSL, because now the interaction with the doctor and the medical lifetime medical science liaison are quite rudimental, not really based on technology, and that where we are working on integrating, especially the Gen AI into that, which can provide a lot of insight, because those are very specific and verticalized conversation where you go deeply into this particular pathology or whatever, or research or papers, and the company are looking to gather insight out of those conversations to incorporate into a better market access, a better go to market with their customers. So those are very, and of course the data integration and process integration. This is running, and it will a trend that will run for many years, because most of our customers, sometimes they have even global one. They have quite fragmented solutions, quite fragmented the landscape, and I think this is a great opportunity to simplify, standardize, create one global solution into the data and process space.
Yeah, no, thank you, Sergio. Very comprehensive kind of summary, but you hit it spot on. It's good alignment to the video, which is a suite of scenarios specific to Life Sciences Pharma that can span the use cases of marketing, the complexity of the journey, and then how do sellers interact with all these different areas in a mobile way, but also leveraging Gen AI and Copilot scenarios to go do that with voice, which I think is impressive too, because there's some sellers out there that like to just hit the little microphone button and talk and be able to then have something come back. And you have created that innovation. And to your point, you're right. When I first met all of you at Trueblue, that was a big value proposition that I saw 4 years ago. So we're almost at time. So to wrap up, I want to thank both of you for engaging. And so when you think about next steps, like people listening to this, if there's a Microsoft seller that's selling to pharma, what should they do? If there's a partner that's doing implementations and they're realizing, oh my gosh, I had no idea that Trueblue actually has IP around this, or maybe there's a buyer that comes across this, what would you recommend as next steps, either of you, for them to
of course, yes, of course. The first recommendation from a sales guy is get in touch with me. Okay. So get in touch with us, with myself, with Michele, whoever you want to get in touch with. We have our website that is full of customer stories, videos, and anything that you need to learn and understand. But write to me. I'm available on LinkedIn and whatever. And again, you mentioned partner, and that is one of our focus area for the next generation of Trueblue, because we made this partnership with Microsoft, because we wanted to scale and to say enable this deep innovation into the pharma market for as much customer as possible. So we are open to collaborate and to work with partners to scale and deliver a solution to our customer. We are ready to work with partners. And yes, customer and partner, just contact me, get in touch with myself, and we'll find a solution for all of you. And of course, I think what I can promise is that you will find someone who really understands your industry. That is something I thought when I joined the company, but now that I'm deep into the company, I realize that this is the true and the core of our value proposition to anyone else out there.
I love it. Anything, Michele, that you want to add before we wrap up and showcase another great video to reinforce all the great conversation we had?
No, I think that Sergio mentioned almost. I just want to add one bit, and we found in our 4 years experience, it's really understanding the market and the industry, and that is very important for our customers and potential customers. But it's even more important in our experience for the Microsoft people in sales, because many times this is a really specific market. You need to know the market to get in touch with the customers, and we can help with that.
I love it. Yeah. And you're spot on in the fact that being able to have a very specific in-depth conversation, you've done it for many years into this specific industry with the specific IP. So I want to thank both of you for grazie. Thank you so much for making the time to join us, being a partner, part of the ecosystem. So for those of you listening live or the replay, again, we do these every Monday. If you want to see not just this replay, but any of the other ones we've done, because we're on episode 95 now, which is hard to believe that we started this during COVID and had this many conversations with our amazing partner ecosystem. aka.ms/ISV Success Live is where you can see all the great innovation. As Sergio and Michele had mentioned, they are on LinkedIn, so feel free to connect with them. This website, aka.ms/Trueblue, does take you to their app source listing, so you can get a lot of great information. But I want to thank again both of you for making the time. Thank you, Trueblue, for the amazing partnership, and have a great week and enjoy this about a minute video at the end. So thank you so much.
Thank you.